I told y'all there's food at home. There's only one thing I love more than French toast, and that's eggnog French toast. You just want to slice the bread into thick slices. I'm using brioche bread. In a shallow bowl, you want to add 1 egg, add some eggnog, a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. Now you just want to whisk it all together. Whip it, put in work, all right? Melt some butter in a hot skillet. Gently dip the bread, and then you're going to put it in the skillet. You want to flip it so it's golden on both sides. Add some fresh strawberry, some powdered sugar, syrup. I love making this around the holidays. Follow and share for more food ideas. I told y'all there's food at home. When it's cold outside, this chicken stew is always on rotation at my house. Season and dry marinate the chicken, and I use dark meat because it's juicier. Saute some onions with carrots and peppers. I use tomato too sometimes, but this is what I had at home, y'all. Use whatever you like. Add the chicken in a pan with chicken broth and sofrito. Your kitchen is going to start smelling amazing. Add some potatoes, fresh thyme, and rosemary. Cover and simmer until it's super tender. Now you know that looks good. Written recipe is in my bio. Follow and share for more recipes.
Okay, look, I've done Pizza the Hut before. I'll do it again.
1 cup of water. 1.5 teaspoons of NC East.
A little mixy.
Sit for 5 minutes. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1.25 teaspoon of fine sea salt.
Whiskey business. Add your yeasty water and mix. Take it a rough dough. Have a dual work surface. Keep kneading.
Until nice and smooth.
Medium bowl. Little drizzle of olive oil. Shape your dough into a ball, into your bowl. Plastic wrap, lightly oiled. Cover.
Rise at room temperature 1 to 2 hours. Italian tomatoes.
Tomato. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Salt to taste. Pinch of sugar. Blend.
Until nice and smooth.
Pizza stone.
Into the oven. 500 Fahrenheit.
45 minutes. Baking sheet. Dust generously with flour. Flour. Dump out your dough. Divide. 2 even pieces. And shape into a ball. Onto your sheet. Cover and rest. 30 minutes. Pizza peel with flour. Piece of dough. Flour at the top. Punch around the perimeter. Over the knuckles. Turn, stretch, turn, stretch. Little pizza sauce. Spread it out. Cheese. Pepperoni. Into the oven on the 5 minutes.
Broil 2 minutes. Garlic oil on the crusty.
Ooh-wee.
The holidays are coming, and on Christmas Day, we have prime rib. 2 days dry aging. Half a cup bacon fat. 8 ounces butter. Whisk it and make it creamy. Chop a handful of garlic. Add the garlic to the slather. Add some rosemary and thyme. Chop it up. Add it to the party. Mix it all together. Apply the slather all over. Before you flip it, salt and pepper. Add some vegetable broth and beef broth to the bottom of your baking pan. Add some carrots, celery, and onions. Add the extra thyme and rosemary. Set your oven to 500 degrees. Cook at 5 minutes per pound or 44 minutes. Let it cook at 500 for 44 minutes, and when the oven goes off, leave it in for 2 hours and do not open the door.
Are you kidding me?
Today I'm doing a tailgate, and I'm going to focus on 2 of my favorite things, booze and gadgets. I'm going to do some smoking today, but it's not going to be on the egg. I'm going to start with a Bloody Mary with some Dillinger vodka, some Worcestershire, hot sauce, and some loaded Bloody Mary mix. And top it off with some celery salt. Shake her up. Now it's time for the old fashioned. We're going to start with some simple syrup, a little bitters, add the ice cube, add the bourbon, a little orange zest, add a couple maraschino cherries, put the cocktails in the smoking cloche. Fire this bad boy on, watch it smoke up. And now the reveal. Furnish the Bloody Mary with a nice sandwich from Nono's Cafe in West Dundee. Be sure to support local. And check out the link in my bio to get this bad boy. I even allowed a Packers fan here today. Go Bears. Are you kidding?
I think we can all agree that the ratatouille from Ratatouille looks so delicious, and this scene literally gives me chills every time. Like, how could you not want to try it? So I was like, I'm gonna make it. So I started off by dicing up some carrots, celery, and onion the day before so things could just go a little quicker. And the next day I began by roasting some bell peppers and a jalapeno to get a smoky flavor. Then I let them steam, peeled the skin, and chopped them up. And for the sauce, I sauteed the mirepoix, added in the garlic, peppers, crushed tomatoes, herbs, salt and pepper, and some fresh thyme. And I let that simmer while I sliced sliced up the vegetables with a mandolin. It really makes everything easier, but if you're ever using one, be super careful. I literally sliced a layer of skin off my finger with this thing before. It's not pretty, but I arranged the vegetables in a nice pattern, drizzled this garlic and thyme mixture on the top, and salt and pepper, then baked it really low and slow at 250 degrees, and after like 3 hours it was done. And then I plated it so that it looks just like the movie with a little chive on the top. But to make it a more filling meal, I served it with some rice, and it was so delicious.
Tonight's dish, linguine diavolo with shrimp, inspired by my favorite restaurant in Redmond, Washington, called Tropea. We're gonna start with a nice cab and a handful of garlic. Start with chopping the garlic. Cover the bottom of the pan with olive oil. And add a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Add your garlic. Add the pasta. Cook the garlic until it starts caramelizing. Add some red pepper, and salt. Add a cup of white wine. Add the shrimp and cook 3 to 5 minutes. Chop up your fresh herbs, basil and parsley. Strain your noodles and add them into your shrimp mixture. Add 2 ladles of water. Add the herbs. Add the cheese. Enjoy.
The best way to roast your potatoes. Use small potatoes and boil until fork tender. Drain off the water and put them in a big bowl. We're going to start with a generous amount of olive oil. You're going to do salt, pepper. We're going to go onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, fresh basil, fresh thyme. Get that all mixed together and dump it out on a lined baking sheet. Spread them out, give them a little room on every side, and then use a glass to smash them about a ½ inch thick. And then throw them in a 425 degree oven for about 30 minutes, but you're going to want to flip them halfway through. And you're going to end up with a soft interior, crispy exterior, the best roasted potatoes you've ever had.
This is how I make my charcuterie boards. A plate like this costs about $80, which is a great deal considering the time and effort I put into handcrafting each and every one of these boards. They're 100% organic and homemade, and I even grow my own cheese, crackers, and ham. Vegan options are also available.
Tonight we're doing lamb chops. I got these babies from United Harvest. We're gonna start with some olive oil. Add salt and pepper. Chop some garlic. Chop up some rosemary. Add the garlic and the rosemary. Same on the other side. Done both sides, they're ready for the grill. These are going on the big green egg at 550. 2 minutes aside. Depending on the thickness, you might need a little more time or a little less. Tent for 10 minutes. My boy loves these. Perfect medium rare, goes great with the D2 from DeLille.
Oh, I wish it was 99 when I was a kid at Christmas time. Couldn't go to bed that night. Santa Claus sliding slow.
Courtesy of my buddy RP, I'm doing ribeyes on the Blackstone. Normally I start with bacon fat, but I'm gonna do something different today. We're gonna start with salt, pepper, throw on 4 pieces of bacon. Now we're gonna throw these bad boys onto the bacon fat. About 2.5 minutes each side. Idle Hands Underground Wine Project. Add butter, garlic, rosemary, and thyme. Baste the steak on both sides. Back on the grill. Keep basting and turning every 30 seconds. Add some rosemary salt. Are you kidding me?